Insane NBA moments. The NBA slogan, "Where amazing happens," is not without reason. It perfectly describes what you have witnessed in the past, what you are witnessing now, and what you will witness in the future from the world's most gifted and talented athletes. For over a half-century, NBA athletes have entertained us and accomplished feats that we can only dream of. Let's take a look at some of the most insane plays the NBA has ever offered us. Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson was a shell of his former self by the time he joined the Detroit Pistons. His former self was the one who won the 2001 MVP award and once won 4 scoring titles, establishing himself as one of the game's most prolific scorers, despite being 6 foot 0 inches and 165 pounds. His time with the Pistons was brief, but he left an impression at the Palace of Auburn Hills with an incredible 45-foot pass that somehow went right through the legs of Phoenix Suns forward Grant Hill and into the hands of Richard Hamilton, who finished the pass with an easy lay-in. Chris Paul. In only 5 years in the league, Chris Paul has established himself as arguably the best point guard in the game today. Paul has averaged 19 points, 10 assists, 5 rebounds, and 2 steals per game in his career, making him a well-rounded player who has come close to the coveted quadruple-double in the past. His uncanny dribbling ability is one of his impressive qualities that does not appear on stat sheets. CP3 possesses one of the best crossovers in the game, as well as dribbling and concentration, and he demonstrated it here in a game against division rival Dallas Mavericks. With the Hornets leading by double digits, Paul showed off his abilities by making a fool of Jason Terry by putting it through his legs while dribbling on the other end. As any good point guard would, he chose not to be selfish and go for the contested lay-in, instead passing it to the trailing David West, who finished the play with a dunk. Michael Jordan. I believe we've established that Michael Jordan is a particular player. No sequence of events was more memorable than his shooting display against the Portland Trail Blazers in the 1991-92 NBA Finals. Jordan made an immediate impression in Game 1, possibly the greatest NBA Finals performance of all time, hitting an NBA record 6 three-point field goals and setting a record for points in a half with 35. Jordan's reaction to the 6th three-pointer was to look over to the scorer's table and simply shrug his shoulders, as if to say, "I don't know how it's happening either." The Bulls won the game 122-89 and the series in 6 games to win their 2nd consecutive championship. Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas was a fantastic passer before becoming a terrible NBA executive. He was, in fact, one of the best at it. In his prime, Thomas could find just about anyone on his Detroit Pistons team and has 2 NBA championships to his name. No pass was more impressive than the one he completed against the New York Knicks during the regular season. Isaiah went above and beyond by slamming the ball against the hardwood at the perfect angle to send the ball to his streaking teammate at the perfect height and time to finish off the alley-oop. Larry Bird. In Game 5 of the 1987 Eastern Conference Finals, the Boston Celtics appeared to be out of it. Larry Bird had just had his layup attempt at the rim rejected, and the Pistons now had possession, with Detroit leading by 1 and 5 seconds remaining. The Pistons only needed to inbound the ball, shoot some free throws, and win the game. That is, if Isaiah Thomas had thrown the ball to one of his teammates instead of Bird, who snuck up behind the intended receiver and stole the ball. The Bird then calmed down with the ball and found a streaking Dennis Johnson, who made the game-winning lay-in with 1 second left. Ja Morant. Memphis Grizzlies guard Ja Morant added another dunk to his career highlight reel on Saturday night, but this one may take the award for NBA Dunk of the Year. We've seen Morant throw down insane dunks and put many around the league on posters, but what he did against the Indiana Pacers and forward Jalen Smith on Saturday night may be one of the most impressive things you'll ever see from a 6'3" point guard. In the 3rd quarter of Saturday's game in Indiana, Ja Morant and the Grizzlies led by 18 points, and after splitting a double team on the perimeter, Morant drove to the basket and threw down what many call the NBA's best dunk of the year over Smith. LaMelo Ball. LaMelo Ball, the Charlotte Hornets' 20-year-old point guard and reigning Rookie of the Year, became the latest to join that exclusive club during the week of the 2021-22 NBA season. Ball debuted his first signature shoe, the Puma MB-01, in Charlotte's first game against the Indiana Pacers, scoring 31 points, including a career-high 7 three-pointers, while also grabbing 9 rebounds and dishing out 7 assists. Ball, Puma's first signature athlete since the brand's return to basketball in 2018, did not disappoint during his first official game in the MB01. Ball became the youngest player in league history to begin a season with 30-plus points, 5-plus assists, and 5-plus rebounds in the Hornets' 123-122 victory. In the third quarter, the home crowd chanted MVP as Ball stepped to the free throw line in the bright orange-red colorway of his sneaker. Stephen Curry. While Curry is a historically elite free throw shooter, the fact remains that he does not get to the line nearly as often as he deserves. One of the game's biggest stars is repeatedly passed over for a superstar call. On February 25, 2016, Curry and the Warriors traveled to Orlando to take on the Magic. The soon-to-be two-time MVP annihilated Orlando's defense, scoring 51 points on 20 of 27 shooting. To top it all off, he only attempted one free throw in the game, which he converted. To this day, it is the only time in NBA history that a player has scored at least 50 points in a game with one or fewer free throw attempts. John Havlicek. The NBA Finals matchup between the Boston Celtics and the Philadelphia 76ers featured one of the most famous play calls in NBA history. Not to mention Game 7 of the 1965 Eastern Conference Finals, which had everyone on the edge of their seats. With the Celtics trailing by 1 and the 76ers inbounding, a meltdown for the Celtics, who had blown a big lead, was about to come to an end. The 76ers appeared to be on their way to victory with Wilt Chamberlain under the net and Hal Greer inbounding the ball from under his own basket. Greer had no idea that John Hondo Havlicek had already anticipated Walker's pass and deflected it to Sam Jones, who dribbled down the court to give the Celtics the conference finals victory. Reggie Miller. With 19 seconds remaining and the New York Knicks leading by 6, the ball was passed to Indiana Pacers forward Reggie Miller, who quickly turned around and made the three-pointer, cutting the lead to 3. It would still be impressive for the Pacers to come back now that they were trailing by 3 points and had to steal either the inbound pass or foul the Knick who received it. Miller chose the latter, stealing a wayward inbound pass and having the foresight to run behind the three-point line, tying the game. All of this happens in the span of 5 seconds. The Pacers went on to win it in front of a stunned MSG crowd. Derek Fisher. The Los Angeles Lakers didn't have much to work with after Tim Duncan hit a stunning fadeaway jumper to give the San Antonio Spurs the lead with only 0.4 seconds remaining. There was no doubt that Kobe Bryant would be under too much pressure to make a quality shot, so it appeared that the Lakers would be out of luck unless a miracle shot occurred. The Lakers received their miracle, but it was not from Kobe Bryant. A player was bound to be found with Gary Payton inbounding the ball. That player was Derek Fisher, who a much larger Manu Ginobili was defending. With no time to get anything close to a good shot, Fisher threw up the shot over Manu's outstretched hands while also fading away. By some divine act of the basketball gods above, Fisher's shot hit nothing but net, giving the Lakers an incredible Game 5 victory. Michael Jordan. I tried not to include too many Michael Jordan songs on this list. I had to leave out several spectacular plays by various players, but none more than Jordan's highlight reel. Needless to say, this did not end up on the cutting room floor. Jordan was poised to go up for another spectacular dunk from inside the foul line during the 1991 NBA Finals game between the Chicago Bulls and Los Angeles Lakers. Instead of dunking it with his right hand, he switched the ball to his left hand in midair and finished the incredible layup. There isn't much more about Jordan that hasn't been said. His performance style has never been seen before and may never be seen again. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more amazing NBA content.